Well, hello again friends. What's this? A video on a Sunday? Yeah, that's right. We're putting out 2 videos a week for the next few months because this is a Painting Revisited series. New series means new music, but same old apron. For this series, we're starting off with the first models I ever painted, which are from the main set of the Dark Souls Boardgame. And to kickstart it, it's the super iconic duo, Ornstein and Smough.
And engage in jolly cooperation.
Now, what I wanted to do for this series was strip off all of my old minis and repaint them, but a lot of people in the comments on my collection video suggested that I shouldn't strip them, as it's always good to look back on them to see how far you've come. And you know what? I agree. So instead, what I have done is bought a brand new board game set, which I will be fully painting over the next few weeks and will be releasing weekly videos every Sunday. And not only that, but once all the models have been completed, I will be giving this brand new and fully painted set away to one lucky winner. Details for how to enter the giveaway will be at the end of this video, so stick around. So I thought we'd do a little unboxing and just see what comes in the main set of the board game. And well, first off, you get this lovely welcome message. It also comes with 4 character cards which detail your specific character's actions. You get a selection of different tiles where you can fight the enemies. Obviously you get a rulebook. You get a big collection of cards for enemy and boss move sets and a treasure deck and everything else that you need to play the game. But more importantly, what do you get in terms of actual models? The main set comes with large hollows and Silver Knight archers, sentinels and a little Ornstein here. You also get 4 playable characters, some more hollows and Silver Knights. But more importantly, what bosses do you get? Well, let's have a look. You get this lovely little fat-winged knight. You get the Dancer of the Boreal Valley. Big boy Smough, and Ornstein comes with him as well. He's just in the smaller enemy box we just saw. The Titanite Demon. You also get the Gargoyle. And finally, you get the Boreal Outrider Knight. So this video is just going to be a guide of how I'm going to paint Ornstein and Smough, and I'm going to compare them to how I painted them a year ago and see what sort of different methods I used. So here is my original Smough, and you can kind of see that I just slapped 1 coat of Retributor armor all over him and just called it a day. So there's not much dynamism going on here, and I just farted a load of Nuln Oil over it to try and, make it look a bit better. So for this new one, what my plan is to Zenithal highlight this boy and try some non-metallic metal style across him to add some strong shading to him. So same again for Ornstein, I just dumped a load of Lead Belcher on and some Retributor armor on him and just slapped on some more Nuln Oil, called it a day. So what I'm going to do is the same methods that I applied to Smough, I'm going to do the exact same for Ornstein. So to begin, let's prime them with some black. Done! And now to Zenithal highlight. I gave a bit more of a detailed description about this technique over on my previous Dancer video, so if you want to know more about that, go and check it out if you haven't already. So I'm just targeting strong white from above Smough to sort of show this strong contrast between light and dark. Then I'm just copying the same method and doing it for Ornstein too. So now they're both primed and highlighted, it's time to get to the actual painting of them. Like I said, I'm starting with Smough and I'm going to talk through what I do with him, but then I'm just going to copy the same techniques on Ornstein so I don't need to repeat myself and say it twice and bore you all to death. So I'm just whipping out the wet palette and I will load up my paints onto it. Starting off with some Avalon Sunset, which will be our main bright colour. Then some Retributor armor, which will act as our gold. Then some Rhinox Hide and Abaddon Black, which will be our shadows. And then some Mournfang Brown, which will be the sort of mid-tone. So what I'm doing is I'm just starting off with the dark tones in areas that I think the metal would be darker. Then blending to the mid-tone, and then from there just blending up into the yellow tones. Then with some gold, I'm just kind of stippling it to kind of add some shiny noise and help blend between the tones. You can kind of see here what we're kind of going for. So that being the base technique I'm going for, I'm just going to replicate that across the whole front of his body, just making sure to keep a strong contrast between the light and the dark tones. And that's kind of how it's starting to look, and I think it's looking pretty cool so far. Then I'm just painting his tig old biddies in the same style and same colours, and with some of the brighter yellow I'm just going to edge highlight and fill in some little detail areas to bring them out a bit. I'm also adding in some auric gold as well, just because it's a nice brighter and shinier gold than the darker retributor gold. And with that, I'm just edge highlighting parts and adding in tiny little scratches to different areas of the body. Quick little progress check, and I think that's starting to come together quite nice. I've also started painting the top of his back. As you can see here, I'm still keeping that same method going between the lights and the darks. Then just moving on to his shoulders, I'm just starting with the brighter yellows across both shoulders before I then move on to the darker brown tones, which I'm placing in areas of the most shadow across the shoulders. And then again I'm adding in the mid-tone brown to blend between the two. And that's how the shoulder is looking, and I'm just going to copy that onto the other one. And now with both shoulders done, I've painted on the yellows to areas of his legs and arms. There will be the... Nula! Sorry, my dog jumped up on the side in the kitchen and tried to eat some food. Where were we? Now with both shoulders done, I've painted on the yellows to the areas of his arms and legs, which will be the brightest. And I'm just going to quickly zip through the next bit as I'm literally just applying the same technique we've already done for the shoulder and the body to his arms and to his legs. And just have a little progress check here on the legs. And back to detailing some bits with the lighter gold and then just edge highlighting that in as well. Now I think I'm going to cover the hammer in some coagulated blood, which will cover some of the detailing. So I'm not going to go too detailed heavy with it, and I'm just going to dry brush in some gold over it to start with. And then back to adding in the yellow highlights spaced out across the top of the handle and blending in some darker browns in the gaps that we've left, giving some real dark brown and black in the middle of the gaps. Now for the final piece of the puzzle is the actual hammer, and I'm just making this little radial blend on the top of the hammer here, just blending from the light to the dark, with the lightest in the centre. Then just a base coat of yellow across the whole head of the hammer, which we will dry brush on the darker tones to the areas that need the most shadow. With all that done, we're going to add some of this super sleek coagulated blood and build it up layer by layer towards the base of the head of the hammer so that it creates this really thick, cool looking blood effect. And with that, the first half of this duo is complete. As I mentioned before, I will just be mimicking these same techniques we've done for Smough for Ornstein, so I'll save you the time and the effort of having to sit through all of that again. Yeah, I know, I took the apron off and I forgot to put it back on. Sue me. Anyway, the base colours of the armour are now applied, and I'm putting on a layer of the flesh tear as red contrast onto the ponytail part of Ornstein's helmet. And to highlight the red strands, I'm just going to edge highlight on some Mephiston red to different strands. I'm also colouring the little gems that he has on the necklace of his armour with some bright red as well. And then just painting in the handle of his spear with some rhinox hide. For the tip of the spear, I'm just basing it with some iron warriors, but leaving some staggered gaps on it, which will be painted with the next brighter metallic colour, Runed Fang Steel. And I think we're going to call it there. I'm just going to tidy up around him, and we're going to take a look at comparing the new to the old. So here is how they look together, a pretty handsome looking pair, even if I do say so myself. And just to compare them to the original for reference, you can see here with Smough how gravity was not too kind to his hammer, and it's, gone on the flop, as we would say here in the UK. The armour is a bit dull and monotone when compared to the new one, which has a fair bit more dynamism to it, with a bit more colour and a bit more shading and the sick looking blood effect. And pretty much the exact same here goes for Ornstein as well. I feel sorry for Ornstein, he kind of feels like the sort of ignored child within this video. So that's pretty much all there is to it. I hope that was kind of useful for you if you're looking to get into painting the miniatures for this board game. Now for the super exciting part, it's the giveaway. So as I said in the beginning, throughout this series I will be painting all the figures in this set, and once I have them all painted I will be giving the entire box away to one lucky winner. Now to enter, all you have to do is make sure you're subscribed to the channel, and in each video within this painting series, which will air on every Sunday, you'll just need to leave a comment. For this video, drop a comment telling me your number one Fromsoftware game. It can be any of them. Tell me which one is your absolute favourite. Each video I'm going to say a different thing to comment on, and on the last video of the series I will be picking one comment from across all of the videos, so the more videos of the series you watch and you comment on, the more chance you'll have of winning. Does that make sense? Now there's going to be, I think, around 9 videos in this series overall because there is a lot of models to paint, and I will be announcing the winner after the last video. But for now, that's the first repainting episode done. Don't forget to drop this video a like if you enjoyed it, leave a comment, and as always, slap that subscribe button. That's it from me, guys. Until next time, don't go hollow.